Hey guys, it's super weird that it's week 8. I'm really sad to see this coming to an end. I hope you had a good last week wrapping things up. And I'm just gonna go right straight into um, responding to last week's videos. So if you see me looking off to the side, I'm looking at my notes. Um, Ryan, I'm gonna start with you. I really liked what you said when you said like making sure like we recognize um, the extremes and how it's not always going to be like one extreme or the other, that there's middle ground. I think it's really important to like recognize what both sides are saying on like specific issues. But like you said, I think that we can always like glean something from both sides. So it's good to like at least invest in learning both sides of a issue. And then Matt, I love what you said about the God in the Box thing. I was driving down the road last year um, one day, and like God like just kind of like wrecked me with that idea. And I like really haven't been the same since. It's been like a cry of my heart just to make sure not to put God in a box. I think it's so simple and I think it's so easy to do, especially these days when like we're not constantly face to face with like Jesus's miracles. It's so easy to be like, oh well, God's not capable of this, like God won't do this. But that's just like it's not the case. God can do whatever he wants to do as long as it's going to bring us closer to him. He's not going to do something that's going to push us away from him, but if it can bring us closer, he'll do it. So, oh, and then Todd, I couldn't find your video, so I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. I don't know. I'm probably just technologically incompetent, so I didn't find it. But as for going on to this next week, and talking about like the course and how we're feeling like coming out of it and stuff. And I will start off by saying this course was not easy for me. I kind of walked into it feeling like it was going to be pretty simple. For some reason, I thought it would be smart to take reading the Old Testament and reading the New Testament at the same time. And I wasn't worried about it. I was like, oh, it'll be fine. And it was a hard class, especially to be taking up against reading the Old Testament. And I figured like, oh, it's the New Testament. I'm fairly like familiar with it. But like these concepts that get brought into the New Testament, it makes it like so much more difficult to comprehend, I guess. I'll start off by saying the hardest part of the class for me was Revelation. I just had a really hard time with it, merely because I haven't read it before. I mean, I've read it, but not in like, not front to back kind of reading. Like I'll read like a little bit here, a little bit there, and be like, okay, that's enough for today. But like having to sit down and really interact with it was really challenging for me. But it was also kind of encouraging to me in a way, because it wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. So I really do feel like with a good commentary, and I know that Fee says like not to like constantly be like relying on the commentary, and I get that. But like when it comes to like I don't understand this verse, I need this commentary. Like finding a commentary I can trust and like running with that, I think I might be able to like dive into that this summer. So that was like a really cool thing that happened because I took the class. I feel comfortable to do that. And then as far as other challenges go, there were times where we would get an assignment where we had like a topic or like a paper that we had to write, and I didn't necessarily like agree with what we were writing about. Um, Even if it was just like a phrasing thing and I didn't understand the phrasing, and then later on I was like, oh duh. Or even like we had some readings in the book that I was like, don't really agree with this. But I found that that was probably the most fruitful part of my journey in this class, because when I didn't agree with something, it forced me to dig deeper to understand the other side of it. Kind of like what I was saying with Ryan. Like when you said that, it just really hit this, struck a chord with how I've been like dealing with things through this course. Because when I started reading more about the other side of a topic, there were times where I would read more about this other side and I'd be like, wow, like I don't know why I didn't see it that way before. That's so smart. Like, and like God really used that to like change like my mindset on something, or just help me know his character more. And there were also times when I still went through the research and didn't agree, but then at the end of it, I could come out of it and say, hey, but like now I understand better why I believe what I believe. And these are like small, minute details. It's not like salvation, but like these like tiny little details that you don't really think about until you're nitpicking and you're like doing the exegesis on it, and then you're like, wow, we're pulling all this out and I don't agree with that, but you know what, this is, the more I research about this is what I'm feeling convicted about, and this is what I think God is speaking to my heart in this moment, or not in this moment, in this verse. And then like running with that, and like that being okay if you don't agree with someone on that, because like at the end of the day, we're all searching for truth and we're not going to agree on every single topic, but we agree on what matters. If that makes sense. Not saying that those aren't issues that we should talk about and we should like challenge each other in, but it also, at the end of the day, we need to remember that we need to like recognize that we're all fighting for the same cause. And yeah, so those were the two things that were really challenging for me in the class, and I'm really sad to see it go. I honestly don't know that I've ever been this disappointed to walk away from a class. I feel like I've been really challenged in this class, and I've learned a lot of things, and I'm really grateful for these video small groups, and I wish I could carry them all through undergrad, but I'll be praying for you guys, and I just really hope the best for you guys, and good luck in the rest of your endeavors, whether it be finishing out Moody or somewhere else. So yeah, happy summer. Bye guys.